Welcome back to Movie Summary. Today we are diving into a film called My Summer of Love. In part 1, we met Mona, who was dumped by a guy named Ricky. She met a rich girl named Tasmin. They got close and made love. Tasmin wanted to punish Ricky, so they went to his wife and told he was sleeping with Mona. Mona's brother, who is very religious as he found God, asks his sister to join him for his ritual. Tasmin is also invited. Both girls arrive to the ceremony. Her brother Phil and his disciples carry a big cross and are singing. Tasmin asks if Phil has a girlfriend. Mona says he is too busy with God, no time for that. The group then raises the giant cross. Everyone claps and cheer in excitement. Phil proceeds with his talks as Tasmin watches him. She seems to be intrigued. Phil then says he prayed for his sister, who is embarrassed by the attention. He then comes next to her and prays for her. After the ceremony, Tasmin asks him questions about his beliefs. Phil says that the devil is real. It used to be in him. It pushes you to do bad things. Tasmin finds it must be great to believe in something. Hours later, both girls are chilling in the bathroom as Tasmin is painting her nails. They make fun of Phil, then proceeds to play the Ouija board. The glass starts moving and Tasmin realizes none of them move it, and the name comes to Sad. Tasmin wonders who it is. Mona swears she is not moving in. Tasmin asks, "Sadie, is that you?" referring to her late sister. The glass goes to yes. Mona doesn't think they should continue. Tasmin asks her late sister if she is in peace. She points that no. She asks why? She points at their dad. She blames their dad. Tasmin tells herself it's probably because he didn't love her enough that she died. They then go into Sandy's room, which was not touched since she passed. They go through her stuff. Tasmin then finds some mushrooms she wants to try. She gives some to Mona and takes some herself. Both girls to go on a motorbike ride. We are shown them dancing a little later, in some kind of local bar. They are tripping because of the mushrooms. The singer starts singing and Mona realizes it's Ricky. She goes on stage with Tasmin and tries to dance with him, interrupting his performance as the crowd start getting mad at them. They kiss with passion, which shocks everyone. They are then escorted out of the club while everyone screams at them. They then go in the woods, create some fire and start kissing. Tasmin says we shall never separate and spend our life together. Mona agrees. Tasmin adds that if you leave me I'll kill you. Mona repeats the same words. They say I love you to each other as they get into action. The next day, Mona is walking in the woods. She comes to Tasmin with some fruits that she got for their breakfast. Tasmin just wants to go home. It's freezing and there is bugs. They then go back to Tasmin's huge mansion. Mona looks at the globe and wants to go to Egypt randomly. She keeps spinning the globe. Tasmin doesn't seem to enjoy that. Someone then knocks on the door. Tasmin looks and it's Phil. Mona says ignore him. Tasmin finds him attractive and wants to seek some spiritual guidance from him. Mona gives her the look. Tasmin then goes downstairs and opens the door for him. He asks about Mona. She says she will be back soon, please wait inside. Phil walks in. Mona, worrying, starts listening. Tasmin tells Phil she can't stop thinking about that ceremony. Everything he said, she believed him. He says God is speaking through me. Mona is approaching and listening. Phil says God freed me from my sins and I can do the same for you. She says but he never speaks to me. He replies you need to pray to him, ask him. Tasmin says he feels empty. Mona is listening. He says let him touch you. She grabs his hand and he starts touching her. They get close to kiss and just before the kiss, she starts laughing. He calls him a fraud while making fun of her. He grabs her by the neck as she is struggling, then pushes her away and leaves. He sees Mona, grabs her and drags her outside. He puts her in his car as she screams for help to Tasmin. They leave. Back home, Phil wants to talk to a mad Mona. He apologizes for getting violent but says there is some evil inside of that girl that's driving her. He wants her to promise him she will stay away from Tasmin. Mona says she loves her. And that Tasmin loves her back, adding they are going away together forever and never coming back. Mona then starts packing her stuff. Phil comes in and looks at her. He then locks her door as she tries to leave. She begs him to open. He starts crying. A little bit later, Mona is by herself laying on the bed and starts drawing on the walls. She draws Tasmin and then kisses her. The next day, Phil is at his usual gathering of Christian enthusiasts. Mona is in her room. Phil tries to play but he is thinking. Mona screams to shut up. Phil then hears a big noise from Mona's room. He hurries up and sees Mona laying. She tried to end it all. He says I love you, and tries to bring her back. She makes fun of him. He slaps her. Phil goes back to the gathering and tries hard to find peace. But then gets violent when someone tries to comfort him. He gets mad and screams at everyone to leave. He pushes them all out and insults them. He seems to have reached his breaking point. Later, Mona has her stuff packed and comes downstairs. She says bye to Phil. She then arrives to Tasmin's house. She comes in, sees Tasmin's father, then goes upstairs. She finds Tasmin with her mom. The mom is packing. Tasmin is silent. Mona asks what's going on. She realizes she is going back to school. In tears, Mona leaves. On her way out, she is stopped by Sadie, Tasmin's sister, who is supposed to be dead. Mona is in complete disbelief. Mona leaves in shock, realizing that Tasmin played her all along. She goes to the woods. Tasmin then joins her. She says she has to leave, going back to school. She says don't be mad about Sadie. She just loved fantasies, so she created that story. She adds that at least we had fun. Mona smiles as Tasmin asks her not to be angry with her. Mona then goes in the water. Tasmin follows her. They kiss with passion. Mona's hands are coming to Tasmin's neck as she puts her underwater, trying to finish her, but she stops. Tasmin screams, "What are you doing?" Mona then leaves and the movie ends. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and check our other movies summaries.